Good afternoon and welcome everyone to this our Career Talk webinar. Today we will be speaking on IT, information technology, and we'll be looking at opportunities that exist in information technology. So the question we're really asking here today is, what can you do with a degree in information technology? And we will be hearing from a number of persons today. We'll be hearing from the head of department from IT at UCC. We'll be hearing from a student who is making waves in the IT world right now, who is a UCC student. And we'll also be hearing from a specialist in information technology. So if you are interested in a career in IT, no other place for you to be right now but here, because we are going to be sharing information with you. We're not only sharing information on what is relevant careers for you in information technology, and what we will share with you degrees that UCC now offer that can help you to take the next step and advance in your career. So we'll also be hearing from the Director of Recruitment and Enrollment here at UCC to tell you, listen, you get information on the programs that we offer, you hear how persons are making inroads, you hear what's happening in the industry and how that can propel you to the next level. And we will share with you how you can actually start. And you know what's more important than all of that? How much money you can actually make, how you can advance your career and advance your entire life by taking a degree, undertaking a degree in IT here at UCC. So we crave your attention, and we will begin the session in earnest in just a moment. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Gary McKenzie, and I join you from the Department of Student Support here at UCC. Our department is responsible for helping the students to get through the student experience from the day you start to the day you finish. And we even help integrate alumni into the programs of the university as well. So you're here for more information, and we will definitely be sharing with that which you will begin in a moment. One additional point that I'd like to share with you, our participants today, is that we'll not only be giving you information. So we're sharing a lot of information with you, a lot of information, how you can progress through the degree, how the degree can help you, what are the opportunities that exist, how much money you can make as you excel in your career. But at the end of the presentations, we will also have a question and answer segment, so you can talk to the head of department, you can talk to the IT student, you can talk to the director of recruitment, you can talk to all the persons from across UCC as it relates to information technology. So save your questions. There is a Q&A button at the lower section of your Zoom screen. You can just, any point in the presentation, the question pops in your head, you just type that question, and at the Q&A section, we will address those questions for you. Okay. All right. So as I said before, we'll be looking at how relevant an IT degree is. And the topic we're really looking at is, what can you do with a degree in information technology? And to bring you some more information on building your career in tech and IT degree from UCC, we'll be looking at career paths, potential earning, and career trajectory. And to bring you information on that is a lady I know is very passionate about IT. She's very passionate about her students. She's the head of department for information technology here at UCC, and she'll definitely tell you that that's the best department, but I'm not getting into that politics. Miss Natalie Rose, the head of department for information technology, is our first presenter today, and she will be telling you more about the relevance of IT degree in your life.
Welcome everyone to this career talk session. I'm hoping that it will be very informative. Today, I will be presenting on building a career in tech with an IT degree. So I'm going to go ahead. All right. So these are the areas that I will be speaking on: the career path. What are the potential earnings you'll be getting once you have a degree in IT? And what are your career progression and development? Now, technology is rapidly changing the way we live and work. And the demand for technology professional has never been higher. It has been arisen from COVID. But before COVID, there was always a demand for IT professional. So an IT degree provides a solid foundation for a career in tech, opening doors to a wide range of exciting and lucrative opportunities. So whether you're a student considering your options or a professional looking to make a change, I will guide you on which this presentation can be valuable to you and informative. So I'm going to start off with the career path. Hey there, are you ready to embark on a journey to build a career in the tech industry with your IT degree?
Absolutely. I've been studying and waiting for this moment.
Grab your notebook and pen and let's get started. Today, I will be talking about the exciting careers, potential earnings, career progression that come with having an IT degree.
Yes, I can't wait to learn all about the opportunities available in the tech world.
Are you ready to learn about all the amazing opportunities that await you in the tech world? Let's do this. All right, so if you're an individual with an IT degree, you have a variety of career paths ahead of you. You can choose from. These paths range from technical roles such as software development, network administration, cybersecurity, and also managerial roles like IT project management and IT consulting. So just trying to give you an overview of the different career paths. We have things like software development.
Hello. Yes, O'Shane. Good afternoon.
And we're just going to be looking at a bit more before I continue.
With an IT degree, you have a wide range of options when it comes to choosing a career path. From software development to network security, database administration to cloud computing, the possibilities are endless. No matter which path you choose, you'll be working with cutting-edge technologies and making a real impact in the world of tech. Natalie will explain more to you.
All right. So I'm going to be just explaining some of these career paths that is so important today. I'm going to start off with software development. This is where you actually design and develop and maintain software application. With the network and information security, this actually ensures the security of an organization, computer system and network. Database administration deals with managing the organizational database. The cloud computing professional, they work with the cloud technology to provide on-demand access to computing resources. So most of the times you'll have your data stored in the cloud, as they say it. IT project manager oversee the planning, implementation, tracking, and short-term projects. IT consultants provide expert advice to clients. So you'd notice that some organization will have short-term IT consultants. Sometimes it's a long-term, depending on the requirement that is needed. And then you have the business analysts. And that person helps the organization to optimize their business process and system. And lastly, the technical writers. So they are the one that create like technical documents such as user manual, online help content. But you may wonder, what are the qualification and skills needed for these jobs? You have to have strong analytical and problem-solving skills. You have to have excellent interpersonal skills. You need to be able to communicate. Project management experience. You need to understand the business processes and able to learn new technology quickly. So there are many exciting career paths available for persons with an IT degree. Each path offers unique job roles and responsibilities. It is essential to just research the different paths, consider your interests and strengths, and choose the one that is aligned with your career goal. Now, even though you may say, okay, I need to go into this area of IT, will I be getting a lot of payment for it? Would my salary be a lot? And it depends, because IT professionals are in high demand. The demand translates in high salaries if the skill is right and you have the experience. So out of all the skills that I have talked about, an IT manager, an IT project manager will get over $139 US. And this is on average. Then followed by the software developers. So if you are able to write coding programs, especially in the gaming industry, that is where the money is. Then you have cloud computing. After cloud computing, you have software develop. Sorry, that's just a mistake here. After the cloud computing, you will actually have your network and information security professionals, followed by the database administrators with over $93,750 US. Then we have the IT consultant, and last we have the business analysts. But there are other persons, because you would have realized that I haven't touched the technical writers. And technical writers are paid less than a business analyst. So these are factors that will determine what type of salary you will actually get when you're in the area of IT. They look at years of experience, the level of expertise you have, your location too plays a major factor, the size of the company and your degree level. So if you have a master's degree or you have a PhD degree, those persons will get a higher pay than a person with a bachelor's or first degree. But as you gain experience and develop your skills, your earning potential will increase. And once you specialize in a specific technology, that also will increase your potential of getting a higher pay. You can also advance your degree and boost your earning by taking certification. So a career in tech offers excellent earning potential, whether you're just starting out or looking to make a change. The opportunity for growth and financial success are abundant. With the right combination of experience or expertise and the continuous learning, because technology is changing every single day, you can achieve financial rewards that comes with a successful IT career. So what about the career progression or development? There are numerous opportunities for growth, especially in IT. But with the right skill and dedication, you can work your way up the ladder to achieve your goals. There are a lot of opportunities for advancement. You can take on leadership roles such as a team lead or a manager. You can move in a specialized area such as data science, and Dr. Jones would be talking about that later on, or cloud computing, or you can simply start your own business. There are a lot of opportunity and job promotion in this area. Once you start gaining additional certifications and training, you have like the CompTIA certification, you have Fortinet certifications, you have the AWS certification for Amazon. You also have certification in software development like Java, certification in Cisco. So there's so many certifications that are out there. And once you have these certifications, these are opportunities for job promotions. So you need to build a strong network within the tech industry, no matter where you are. If you're in Canada, Jamaica, in America, or England, once you have these connection with the association that gives you the certification, you will be known on a worldwide basis. So these are advanced opportunities for you. Stay up to date with emerging technologies. The best practices for career development and growth is to continuously improve your technical skills, take on new challenges and ideas and assignment, seek out mentorship, guidance from other experienced professionals, goes to conferences and workshops. Those are very important. Industry events, stay current with the industry trends and best practices. These careers in tech offer rich and rewarding career development. And if you can work hard and you can dedicate yourself and commit to continuous learning, because once you're in IT, learning never stops. Because every year there's a new gadget, there is something that you need, there's a new software, there's a new type of coding that is out. You have to continuously learn all of these different types of new technologies that are arising. You can, once you continuously learning these things, you can achieve your career goals and make a positive impact in the country you're in Jamaica, in your institution. So if you have a passion for technology and you're interested in using your IT degree to make a real impact, then the tech industry is a place for you. Remember, with an IT degree, you have many options to choose from. The possibilities are endless. You have software development, you have network security, you have database, cloud. So deciding which path you want to take is up to you. Hard work and determination, you will be on your way to be a successful and fulfilling career in tech. Don't wait any longer, just start. Write up, sign up, get yourself. Start building your career, research what is the area you really want to go into. So you have to do a lot of research, okay? Get yourself out there and start building your career in tech, because this is where the world is going. If tech is not your type of degree that you like, there's simply certifications that are out there for non-technical persons. You need to jump on the wagon and get yourself into the area of technology, because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. Thank you so much. Handing over to Mr. Mackenzie, the moderator.
Thank you so very much, Head of Department, Mrs. Natalie Rose, for that overview. So don't be daunted, Lady Rose would have shared with us information about the degrees being offered here at UCC, but I know there are persons on the Zoom that are transitioning from other fields into tech, and we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about how you can get into the degrees that Ms. Rose just shared with us as well. A number of areas for you to get involved with software development, IT project management. But the thing that stood out to me, those salaries, wow. Those salaries, 100K US. I don't even want to convert it. It's mind blowing. The opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely endless. And UCC is the place for you to get your degree. Now, to speak with us about her journey at UCC is a rising star in tech, for UCC, for the region. And I know she is also going to become a global star. Her name is Shanelle McPherson. Shanelle McPherson is a driven and passionate young professional who is committed to the fostering and growth and development to the next generation of tech-savvy individual. She is the 2022 NCB Rickett Allen Scholar. So she not just into tech, the girl is bright. She's currently pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Network and Cybersecurity here at UCC. In addition to her academic pursuits, Shanelle is also the founder of Coded, a youth initiative aimed at fostering futuristic learning through innovation and collaboration with Jamaica's ex-servicemen and women, and that's within the diaspora. Her commitment to empower young people has led her to become a member of ISOC, that's Internet Society Jamaica chapter, where she has had the opportunity to teach tech to children about cybersecurity and online safety, which is absolutely vital. As a NextGEN partner at ICANN, Shanelle is dedicated to ensuring that the Caribbean region has a voice in the internet policy and governance. Her ultimate goal is to become representative for the region at ICANN and to campaign for new development and applications and to foster a safe and secure cyberspace for all of us. This young lady is passionate, she's driven, she is a UCC student, and she's here to tell us about her journey into tech at UCC. Shanelle?
Yes, good afternoon.
Your cyberspace.
Thank you, Mr. McKenzie. Good afternoon, everyone online. I'm so elated to be here. Well, as mentioned before, my name is Shanelle McPherson. I'm currently doing a BSc at this University of Commonwealth Caribbean. Well, my tech career, my tech career started at from when I was a teenager, really. I got the opportunity to enroll at the Amber Art Coding Institute. And once I graduated from there, I said that, you know what, I want to start my college journey. And I started my college journey by applying for a scholarship online through the NCB Foundation. I just want to big up NCB Foundation for paving the way for me and other young professionals like myself. So after winning the scholarship, I enrolled. I'm going to be putting the link there because it's almost that time of the year in which NCB will be giving out some scholarship for persons who are looking to continue their career path. And also, don't forget UCC. They have their own scholarships that they offer to students as well. I've posted that in the chat. Now, on my journey to UCC has been utmost fulfilling. And I just want to talk about the ways in which I maintain my scholarship, and then I'll get into it. Now, once you apply, the first thing that we have to do in regards to getting a scholarship is to apply. Don't be afraid, don't be worried. Yeah, let me turn on my camera. Getting the option to turn on the camera. No, there you go. All right, so to maintain the scholarship, one of the things that I do to maintain it. All right, on a few points here, just a moment. Yes, one other thing I do to maintain a scholarship is to meet academic requirements. So basically, it's just maintaining a GPA. One of the requirements for NCB is to maintain my GPA of 3.0 and over in order to continuously stay within the IT field, continuously to be paid, my tuition to be paid. All right, another thing is to stay involved. Everything that I do and participate in UCC, I ensure that I send it over to those persons at NCB so that they know currently what's going on in my academic field. I follow the guidelines. Scholarships, they come with a lot of guidelines majority of the times, in which, you know, you have to put in some voluntary hours. And I've been volunteering. I've been doing voluntary service before applying for the scholarship. Communicate with the scholarship providers, stay up to date with them and the correct targets, and stay organized. It's very difficult maintain a scholarship. I'm doing an internship at internet innovative technology company here in Jamaica. And I'm telling you, the other day I told Miss Rose that, Miss Rose, at the same time I had the ICANN presentation to do, and I said to Miss Rose, I'm feeling so overwhelmed, because it does get overwhelming. And to know that UCC has faculty members that provide that kind of support, I could call on Miss Rose and say, hey, you know, I'm feeling overwhelmed about the situation. But Miss Rose is the type of faculty staff that, you know, it's get it done at whatever cost kind of person. So having that kind of, I'm going into UCC now. So having that kind of support at UCC has helped me to get through my journey. I'm currently in my second semester. And some few points here. Currently in my second semester at school. And throughout my journey, it has led me to become better able to network with young professionals. My journey has helped me to become more aware of the new technologies that are now coming in advance. Oh, thank you, members of UCC. So yes, the link has been posted to everyone. So this role has helped me to advance my knowledge more in the tech industry. And one of the important things that I've learned, of course, apart from staying up to date, is to it also requires me to continuously learn and have a willingness to take on new challenges. As well, the value of networking and connecting with these professionals in the industry, they offer me mentorship. And I'm talking about UCC, and I'm talking about different areas and different personnel that I've had opportunity networking with. It provided me with mentorship, and they provide me with guidance and opportunities for growth. UCC sends out different programs such as ICANN. They send out different voluntary organization. They send out different internship programs as well that can help us to develop our skills in the tech industry. And it's not just for tech, but for any overall workplace. Basically, UCC is getting us ready for what's to come. Yeah, I believe that this career path, it has a wealth of opportunities for personal growth. And I'm extremely confident that my education and my experiences will equip me with the knowledge and skills that I need to succeed in this industry. So basically, everyone, this is a few of my insight that I can give you all in regards to my overall first year experience at UCC. I've also been selected to attend ICANN, in which ICANN is the Internet Corporation for assigned name and numbers. So ICANN is responsible for ensuring that our domain name system, in which the domain name system, well, the domain name, for example, we're on, you know, perhaps let's say Disney.org. That domain system is responsible for ensuring that whichever IP addresses that we're trying to connect to, it converts that IP address into a readable domain name. And ICANN is responsible for ensuring that that domain name system remains safe. I'm also a part of the ISOC community, which is the Internet Society of Jamaica, in collaboration with Starlink. that we should be rolling out a project within the rural communities of Jamaica, in which for these areas, they will be provided with internet service. And we're not just talking about any internet service, we're talking about satellite service. And we can just imagine the magnitude of speed that these individuals will be going. My part in all that, in that project, is to ensure that these people remain secure and safe while they're using our cyberspace. And of course, you know, Starlink is a Elon Musk owned project. Yeah, I'm also fond of coding, as you mentioned before. And this is also one of the things that I do in my spare time. I volunteer my time in order to teach persons how to become more engaging in this skill. And, you know, perhaps to think if this is something that they want to do, in which I hope that majority of my students will continue their education afterwards. And I'm always railing for UCC. Attend UCC. They provide an online-based study. They offer so much in regards to yes, they offer so much in regards to their support and their clubs and extracurricular activities. And students have been, my colleagues have been asking, Shanelle, how did you get a scholarship? Shanelle, how can you apply for ICANN? Can you help me in the process? So whenever I hear these things, I'm so overwhelmed with joy that, you know, I'm able to help someone who wants to take a similar path on this IT journey. I can help them with all those processes that I've already completed. So, I mean, my journey here has been nothing but fulfilling. My long-term goal for ICANN, I definitely want to be one of the representatives when I go to ICANN, to sit on the board of directors, ensure that more Caribbean people, and I hope that persons online are already starting to apply for the NextGEN that's coming up in March, right? Because there's going to be another meeting in March, and I hope that majority of us are already applying. We had a previous webinar about that before. Right, so yeah, I want to be on the director. I want to sit on the board of directors so that the Caribbean region can have a voice, as well as my presentation when I'm going to be at ICANN is going to be on the impact of cybersecurity on Jamaica's banking system through DNS abuse. And I've noticed that majority of cyber attacks that's happening in Jamaica is through our DNS system. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when I get to ICANN. And I've also done a presentation in a webinar that we previously had here at UCC. Once I go to ICANN, one of my main goal is to learn about DNSSEC, in which DNSSEC is an ICANN-based application, but they're used to integrate into the domain name system that checks to ensure that no man in the middle attack can happen when persons try to visit a website. And I want to ensure that our ISPs, I'm talking about digital and flow, our service providers, they're integrating DNSSEC so that Jamaicans can be safe and they don't need to worry about if they visit a website, if it's legitimate or not. So these are some of the campaigns that I'll be running once I return to Jamaica. This is a campaign that I'll be going with, and I hope that the student body will be 150% supportive in this initiative when I return to Jamaica. So I just want to take the time out to thank everyone for listening. I'm asking you guys, apply. Don't be scared. Just apply yourself, be willing, and you can do it. All of us can. So thank you all for listening, for taking the time out for listening to me today. And I hope that, you know, I brought some insight to the different areas that you can take in order to propel in your academic achievements. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much, Shanelle McPherson, for sharing your insight and your journey here at UCC. First year in the IT program, and she's already making the internet a safer place for all of us. Absolutely proud of you. Shanelle McPherson will be sticking around for the question and answers. The question and answers come in just a little under an hour when we've completed all the presentations. So if you have questions for Shanelle, if you have questions for the head of department for IT, Natalie Rose, who presented before, drop those questions in the Q&A section, and we will reserve those for the presenters. At the end of the presentations, we will take those questions. Absolutely fantastic presentation. Thank you so very much, Shanelle McPherson. But it don't, so you hear from the head of department, you hear about the student experience from Shanelle McPherson. Now we're going to take a slightly different approach. I said to you before that what we've spoken about so far is persons starting out. You start your degree, like Shanelle, you start first year, you go into tech. Natalie Rose spoke about the degrees that we offer and the different areas. But what if, like me, I'm excited about the salary that I just saw, I'm excited about what I've heard, and I'm not in IT? What is it like to transition from one career into IT? Our next presenter is Dr. Jody-Ann Jones. Dr. Jody-Ann Jones is a passionate data scientist leader with over 12 years progressive professional experience providing data modeling and insights on various projects and business audiences. But Dr. Jones never started in IT. She holds a doctorate in international political economies, and she's a self-taught data scientist. Dr. Jones applies her analytical skills to identify data patterns, implication, risk, and make recommendations that help to drive organizational strategies and alleviate pain points. In her spare time, listen to this, guys, in her spare time, she enjoys martial arts, weightlifting, and something I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, playing Call of Duty. Dr. Jody-Ann Jones, your cyberspace.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to UCC students. I have been a part of the community for a little while. Miss Rose is actually the person who hired me, or one of the persons who was instrumental in hiring me for an adjunct lecturer position in the department. And let me just share my screen real quick. All right, so as Gary mentioned, so my background is in political economy. And if I'm to be honest with myself, first of all, I've always been obsessed with tech. I actually started my tech career in '98 when my parents got me my first computer. And I taught myself web development. And in fact, that skill was actually one of the skills that helped me to not starve during college, because I was able to take up a lot of freelance and a lot of side projects while being an international student and not being able to work off campus. So that was actually very beneficial for me, or to me. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into my presentation. Please feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn and Twitter, and we can talk more about my journey and more about you know, what you would like to, or how you'd like to pursue your career in tech. So the very first thing I like to advise my students and mentees is the very first thing you want to think about is what type of projects light your soul on fire, right? Or make you come alive. All right, as Miss Rose and Miss McPherson spoke about, there are so many opportunities within tech. You know, thinking about a career in tech is, think of it as in you're thinking about a career in English. It's such a big field. It's so broad, and there's so many avenues and channels, different paths you can take. So you really want to sit down and do some self-reflection and think about what is it that you love to build, right? Whether this is a game, whether this is a web app, a mobile app, or this could be a machine learning product. Think about what it is that really gets you excited. And then from there, reverse engineer the skills that you need to learn. Now, I've framed this presentation in sort of a substantive and procedural manner, and I hope my slides reflect that. There's some real world advice, but as well as advice on how to kind of prepare yourself mentally for this journey. So the next advice I'd give to students and professionals who are thinking of making the switch is be prepared for continual learning. So if you're the type of person who enjoys finding out new things, who is constantly curious about, you know, learning new tasks or learning new skills or adopting new skills, then I'd say tech is definitely the career for you. As Ms. Rose mentioned, there's always something new. And even within pre-existing frameworks, there's always an update or just something that you have to adopt to your current workflow. So there's always something for you to learn. So you can never get bored, right? So that's one of the upsides to it. It's not, so I want you to think of this not so much as a race where there's a finish line, but think of this more as a continuum where you're just constantly leveling up, right? And to put it in my gamer's mindset, just think of it as just constantly getting to another level, right? So it's really difficult to get bored or feel unchallenged. So just prepare for this continual learning, and you find that the people who excel in tech are the ones who are always, you know, in reading, keeping abreast of updates in documentation, keeping abreast within communities such as Stack Overflow, just constantly talking to people and just learning new things and experimenting with this. So the next advice I'll give to you guys is to create a roadmap for yourself. And this is very important because everyone's journey is different. And while it's okay to look at the roadmap or the path that someone else took, it's very important that you create one for you. And this is why the first slide is so important, to think about what you really want to make, because this will help you to create a customized roadmap for yourself. And I shared a resource with UCC for students who are interested in machine learning, as that is my niche, my area. There's so many ways to start. So it's very important, and there's so many ways to not just start, but to actually learn the frameworks, learn the technologies. So it's very important that you have a custom roadmap for you. And if any student wants to hit me up and just reach out to me for advice, and I'll be willing to share my journey. And from there, you can think, it's to think of it like a buffet. So you can take from it what you want, and then, you know, the other stuff you can just like walk on by. But it's very, very important, I can't stress this enough, to have a plan and a roadmap that's unique to you and not someone else's. And this leads me to my next point. Find a mentor or some mentors if you can. And this is one of the things I absolutely love about being in tech. Even if you don't know people, you know, in real life or IRL, there's always someone online who's willing, or a community online who is willing to share advice, share articles, videos, just things to, you know, contribute to your overall development as a tech professional. So it's very important to at least find at least one person, and I dare to say that you can definitely find more than one mentor, especially if you're active on like LinkedIn or Twitter, or in tech specific communities such as, you know, Stack Overflow or Discord even. So I actually join a few Discord communities, and I must say it's like one of my favorite things about this journey. Just being able to talk to people from all over the world. And, you know, it's sometimes it's not even about tech, it's just about meeting other like-minded individuals who are on a similar path to you. So I'd say this is also something you definitely don't want to sleep on, because this will be instrumental for your advancement in your career. Next one may not make me as make me unpopular. Is to take a math refresher course. Please don't believe the things that you hear, or the memes that you'll never use math in the real world, or you know, or algebra is not important. And math is extremely important, guys. And one of the things that make math such an important subject is not just the actual concepts that you need to learn, but it's also how a mathematical mindset or framing your mindset in a mathematical standpoint kind of helps you to deconstruct problems. And when you're working in tech, especially when you're working in the fields such as machine learning, there's always going to be problems. There's no shortage of problems. So it's very important to train your brain and kind of cultivate this mindset where you're a problem solver. You know, you're thinking logically, and you're using models and frameworks to help you attack and solve a real world problem. All right, and then for my students or my friends who want to apply to like a big fan company, I know right now there's a big layoff in terms of big tech, but don't be dismayed by this, guys. Big tech will, you know, there always will be positions available. And I would say to my friends who are interested in applying for any of these positions, regardless of which track you choose, please learn data structures and algorithms sooner than later, because this is actually one of a part of the technical interview process that you need to pass in order to achieve or attain your dream job in big tech. So I can't stress this one enough. Next thing I'd say to you is it's going to be overwhelming in terms of just excitement when you first embark on this. You're going to see so many new frameworks, and you're just going to see so much cool stuff, and it's going to be really easy to get distracted, you know, by the myriad of languages available. So my advice to you is, depending on the track that you chose, right, there's usually one dominant programming language. So for example, for machine learning, that's Python. You want to focus on that one language and learn that really well. No, this is not to say this is the only language you should know or the only language you can learn. But the reason I'm telling you this is it's good to learn one language really well first, because once you learn a particular language, then it becomes easier to learn other languages, especially if they fall within the same family. So if, for example, if a Python an object-oriented language, you may find that, okay, if you decide to pick up Java or pick up another object-oriented language later, it will be easier than you trying to learn Python and Java from step 0 and trying to learn them simultaneously. So just pick one and just focus on that and just put blinders on. All right. The next thing I say to you is learn the fundamentals of software architecture and system design. So you want to have a general sense of how things work and how the different components in a system function and interact with each other, regardless of the role that you plan to play. I always say it's good to focus on the trees, that is, you know, what the things you have in front of you, but don't lose picture of the forest. Don't lose sight of the larger picture. So it's always good to have a high level understanding of how systems work. There's a great book called Design Patterns, and number of books, but Design Patterns is kind of like the Bible where that is concerned. So learn the fundamentals in common software application or software architecture. So just think about how things, start thinking about how things interconnect and how they work with each other. All right, the next thing I'll tell you is to build projects early and often. So this is going to be something that's very challenging at the beginning, because you're thinking, oh, I'm a noob, or, you know, I'm a beginner, I don't know what projects to build and stuff. But I can tell you again, the community is so cool and just so supportive. You can build like a simple calculator and people will be like, oh, wow, that's so cool. How did you do that? Right? So you really want to get into the habits of just building small projects, building up your self-efficacy, because with each project you build, it builds your confidence to build bigger projects or more projects. So I must say this is one of the things that helped me out big time. Just get down and dirty with the code from the start, right? It's fine to read tutorials or watch tutorials, but nothing beats actually playing around with the tech yourself, stumbling, you know, when you get the error, you figure out the error and you keep going. So I say that to me is one of the most beneficial things in my learning journey. So just play around with stuff, break stuff, that's actually break it, but break the code, and just keep building stuff and share it on GitHub, share it in your communities. Next, I'll say, and I hope I'm not running over time. I got a hard 25 minutes, but I was so super excited to share with you guys. Next thing I'll say is surrender your ego. So remember, like Ms. Rose said, and what I said in a few slides ago, it's a path of continual learning. So you're never going to feel like a grandmaster, right? You're never going to feel like you're at the pinnacle of your career. Because with each new framework or with each new skill, you're basically starting from level 0, right? So it's very important to adopt a beginner's mindset, or rather a mindset where you are constantly learning new things. And one of the things that I have learned from my personal experience, you can't have an ego and learn simultaneously. It's one or the other, all right? So it's very important if you're interested in learning something, especially if you want to learn it quickly, it will save you so much time if you just, you know, adopt your mindset as a beginner, no ego, a white belt, and I promise you that will be more beneficial than you thinking, oh, I'm already this or that, especially if you're switching careers. So I've met people who have switched careers from like healthcare, from law, from just various fields, and you're essentially all the knowledge and all the skills that you learned before in your previous career. Yes, they can be transferable, but at the same time, you need to bear in mind that this is a brand new set of skills you're teaching yourself or you're learning. So you can't really come in with the mindset that, oh, I already have a master's degree or this and that. You need to think of yourself as like a baby, as somebody who's starting from level 0. So the next advice I'd give is help if you want to get help. And this one is extremely important because a lot of times, you know, we tend to get information and we tend to acquire knowledge and we don't give back to the community. And I'd say if you really want to hack or accelerate your learning, the faster you can, you know, get in the mindset of helping persons and sharing what you learn with people, then the faster you will learn, right? And the faster other people will be willing to help you. And I'd say this is another thing that helps me out. And you know, to be frank, it's sometimes you're not even aware of your potential contributions until you share it with somebody and someone say, wow, I have been looking for this, I've been trying to figure this out for how many days now, thank you so much. So it's very important to...
Okay, we're back. I'm sorry, Dr. Jones, we weren't hearing you for a little bit, but we're back. We lost like about 45 seconds of what you were saying.
Okay. So I thought you were about to say 45 minutes.
No, that would be too
Okay.
much.
Where did you lose? Or you're in this slide or before?
Help if you want help. We were with you there, but for the
Oh,
for a
okay.
good
All
portion of the
right.
last minute, we lost you.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right. Whew. Okay, yeah. Right. So yeah, so it's very important to put things out into the universe. This is really what this slide is. If you want to be the type of person, you want to be a person who other persons in the community are actively helping or looking out for, you need to become that person yourself. All right. And especially when it comes to job searching, you want to be the type of person who is willing to, do something simple, such as reviewing a friend's or a colleague's resume and giving advice. So this I can't stress enough. And in fact, what this does is create a virtuous circle within the community. Like I said, the tech community is usually super helpful, but at the same time, it's very important to give help and not just take it. So I'll say this is one of the fundamental things that helps me out a lot. And then, okay, I have 4 more slides left. Good, as I'm still on time. So you also want to practice being still. And what this means is a lot of persons watch these hacker movies where they see these programmers like coding their life away. I can tell you in the real world that doesn't happen. Most of the time you be just looking at your screen, you trying to figure out what went wrong, you're trying to debug your code, or you're just trying to think of what are the best steps to solve this particular problem. So with that being said, it's really important to cultivate practices that kind of run counter to our ever connected world now, right? So practice things such as meditation, exercise, things where you can just kind of disconnect and tap into your thoughts and be introspective, because oftentimes that is what's going to happen to you. You're going to be sitting at your computer by yourself and you're trying to figure out how best to solve this problem. Now this slide here, I prepared to get a whole bunch of questions for this. And this one is very important. Now we have so much information at our fingertips. It's very easy to learn a new framework or a new library, a new tool, right? But at the same time, we find that there is like a deluge of information on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, what ends up happening is that persons get locked into a specific way of learning, right? So they end up like watching like 10 YouTube videos or doing, 10 Coursera courses or what have you. Now, while the consistency of that is good, you also want to mix things up. So what I discovered for myself is that there are times where video tutorials help me, and there are also times where just reading the documentation is more helpful than watching a tutorial. So it's very important to kind of mix things up. You watch some videos, you read the documentation, you might purchase a book on the subject, or you might even speak to someone as like an expert already in the field. So it's very important you switch things up and not just stick to one mode of study. The next, and I promise you guys 3 more slides left. The next thing I'll say to you is build transferable skills. And one of the skills that helps me on a daily basis is writing. And I believe Ms. Rose touched on this as well. Even if you're not a technical writer, you don't want to do technical writing, it would behoove you to start practicing and mastering the art of effective communication. And I say this applies to other skills as well, such as your critical thinking skills, your analytical skills. These are skills that you can use in not just tech, but in any career. So it's very important while you're building your technical skills, whether you're learning Python, SQL, or what have you, it's very important that you also cultivate skills such as visual communication, writing, things that you would need in regardless of the career path that you choose. And then last but not least, I'd say to you, put your health first. Tech, like most careers or many careers now, is sedentary. You'll be sitting at the computer a lot. Please don't stay seated at the computer. It's very important to take care of your physical and mental health, especially in nowadays hustle culture, where everything is, go hard or go home or what have you. Please don't go hard or leave your home, right? That's fine. But you want to put your mind and body, your physical and mental health first. That should be your priority before learning, before money, before anything else. It's very important to take care of yourself, and that is something that will pay dividends. And counterintuitively, one would think that you would gain more by studying more, by working more, but counterintuitively, your body and your mind you will actually achieve more if you take care of the things that you need. That's your health that will help you achieve the things that you want to achieve. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening. I know I got a little philosophical, and to be frank, that's a whole part of the journey. When you're changing career paths, you really want to think of, what your values are, what are the things that you really want out of life. And if you're thinking about switching to tech, I say more than 2 times. If you think about it at least 3 times, I say go for it, take the leap, and you won't be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Jones. A deep philosophical reflection on a journey into tech from another space. We spoke about getting excited about finding out what excites you and building a customized roadmap to get you there, leaving the ego at the door, finding the balance. Very, very informative. Dr. Jones will be sticking around for the Q&A. So will the other presenters, Ms. Natalie Rose and Ms. McPherson. We will now hear. So you have a good grasp of what you can do with a degree in tech. You have a good grasp of all the opportunities that are available in tech. We will now hear from our recruitment director here at UCC to tell you about the specific programs that you can apply to. And I see the questions come in. I see questions about the programs that you can apply to. I saw them from Lady Rose did her presentation, and I know I want you to keep the questions coming because everyone will stick around. But right now, we're going to hear from Mrs. Andrea Ray. She's the Director of Recruitment here at UCC, and she's going to tell us about why you should study tech at UCC, the benefits of studying at UCC, when, how to apply, and what the requirements are. Lady Andrea Ray, the cyberspace is yours.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you a lot. And so I want to welcome everyone again to this webinar. So we have talked about, Mr. Rose talked to you a little bit about what you can do with a degree in IT. And so, we were able to get an insight into how you can build a career in tech. We were able to get more information about the various career paths, the potential earnings. We definitely, that was a big thing for me about the potential earnings, what I can do or what you can do with a degree in tech. And of course, your career trajectory. And then Shanelle talked to us a little bit about her journey here at UCC. She shared with us how she was able to earn a scholarship and how she was able to maintain that scholarship and give us a good insight into her experience studying at UCC. And then, we were thrilled to hear from Dr. Jody-Ann Jones because she really answered some of the questions that we had about transitioning into tech. or you go from your now career to look at a career in IT. And so I will continue that trajectory, talk to you a little bit about how you can start your educational journey, or you can transform your life or transition your life by earning an IT degree here at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, UCC. All right, so we want to start by, how you can get on that educational journey. So I'm just going to briefly talk to you a little bit about an overview of UCC for you to get to understand a little bit more about who we are. Definitely give you some insight as to why study with us. We're going to talk a little bit about the degree programs that are offered through the School of Science and Technology. Want you to understand more about the admission requirements. How do I get into an IT degree here at UCC? And most importantly, what are some of the benefits of earning an associate or a bachelor's degree? And so I'm gonna, give you a little insight into UCC. So UCC was formed based on a merger of two predecessor institutions. That is our Institute of Management Science and Institute of Management and Production, two very strong and solid institutions. UCC actually has been the first university college here in Jamaica. I dare to say we are one of the fastest growing institutions in the Caribbean, and we are very, very proud to say that today now UCC is a group of companies. Understanding too that UCC, we have that networking footprint across the island. So we have our main campus here in Kingston at 17 Worthington Avenue, but we also have regional campuses, regional outlets that you can also attend classes. So we have our Maypen campus, we have a Mandeville campus, Montego Bay and Ocho Rios as well. So we are strategically located across the island. So I really want us to own in on and get a deep understanding of really why study with UCC, why choose UCC, and essentially, you really want to study with us because our faculty are really experts and practitioners in their respective fields of study. What that means for you is that the syllabus is influenced by their experience and their expertise. That provides for you great and tremendous networking opportunities. That means that you can take what you have learned in the classroom and take it immediately into your workplace. It also means for you that we have flexible study and payment options for you, meaning that you don't have to pay for your classes all at once. We do offer very flexible payment options, and we offer very undoubtedly very flexible study options. So we do offer where you can study fully online if that works better for you in terms of your work schedule and your study schedule. So we offer online classes, and we absolutely do offer blended classes. And by blended or hybrid, as you may hear, we refer to it from time to time, blended hybrid allows you to be able to be taking classes in a mixture of both online modality and some face-to-face classes. To study with UCC also give you some great options to be able to access tuition financing and scholarships. Yes, I did say scholarships. So you have the opportunity to look at both internal scholarships that we offer both for persons who are first time in college, all the way through to persons who may want to look at external scholarships through the external foundations. UCC also positions itself through international partnerships. What that means for you is that we do have partnership in terms of our programs with Florida International Universities, University of London, as well as the University of Sunderland in England. Very important too to note that UCC has something that we're extremely proud of. We take every opportunity that we can to talk about it, our institutional accreditation. So we have that both internationally and locally. All right, so those are some of the many benefits as to why you would want to study with UCC. All right, so you may be asking, no, how do I get admitted into the program? All right, so for you to be fully accepted, or what we call unconditionally accepted in the program, you would need a minimum of 5 CSEC or 5 GCE. You would need to have math and English to be fully admitted into the program. But we also do accept persons who have 4 GCE or 4 CSEC passes. All right, you can be conditionally accepted. What that means for you is that you have the option to either retake the CSEC subject that you may be missing, or you can do prerequisites or foundational classes here at UCC to be able to fully matriculate. And then we offer opportunities for pretty much everyone. So if it is that you may not have the 4 CSEC, you do have the option to be able to matriculate on a track we call a mature applicant track. So besides you completing the application, it requires additional pieces of information, including you providing to us 3 character references. We would need a detailed resume, and we would still need for you to furnish us with all of the post-high school learning and programs that you may have completed. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit now about cost. So you may be asking, what's the cost for the program? Now, if you are looking to pursue 100% online, then the cost per module for you is going to be $14,300. If you prefer, some amount of face-to-face interaction, attending classes online, as well as face-to-face, then the blended hybrid delivery may be something that you want to consider. And the cost per credit is $14,467. All right, want to segue to and continue to talk about, as we close out this evening, what are some of the benefits that UCC will actually offer to you? Just remind you of those benefits as you look to transform or transition into a tech degree, to be able to take advantage of some of the career path we talked about earlier, some of the potential earnings, and really set yourself up for future success. All right, so just a reminder, UCC does have institutional accreditation, so that means that the program is undoubtedly accredited. We also have the opportunity to have what we call career advisement. So we do allow our students to really get that experience, that exposure that really sets them apart in the workplace and create that competitiveness for them. And last but not least, we do offer you the opportunity to earn transferable skills and competencies that will last you a lifetime. All right, so I really want to encourage you, now that you have heard more about UCC, to go ahead and apply now. All right, I invite you to go to our website at www.ucc.edu.jm. You will see the option to review our IT programs. So, because we offer in the School of Science and Technology, we offer a bachelor's degree in IT. You can also look to pursue a bachelor's degree in networking and cybersecurity, one of our new and cutting edge programs. And not to be outdone, we have a new bachelor's of science in data science, very, very cutting edge and innovative. And so we invite you to go to our website, make the selection for the program that's going to best suit your career path, and go ahead and apply now. Our next upcoming semester begins in the summer, and that's May of 2023. Bearing in mind that we have 3 intakes for the year. We have usually one that begins in January, that's our spring semester. We have May, which is our summer semester, and we have September, which is our fall semester. All right, so for further information, you need additional assistance. Also, you're able to reach out to our recruitment department. You can dial in at 876-906-3000, select extensions 3943 or 4060. You can also reach out to us via email at support@ucc.edu.jm. All right, so I just want to thank you so much for your attention today and for allowing us to share a little bit about UCC with you. All right. We look forward, though, to see you joining the UCC community in our next upcoming semester starting in May. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ray. Mrs. Ray, as you might remember, is the Director of Recruitment and Enrollment here at UCC. And we're now going to, it's your turn. The spotlight is now on you. It's time for the Q&A from you. And we have a number of questions in the Q&A. If your question is not there, please don't waste any time. Drop your question in so we can get that answered. Our panelists are still here. Natalie Rose, Head of Department for IT here at UCC. Shanelle McPherson, ICANN NextGEN Country Rep. Mrs. Andrea Ray, who you just heard from, Dr. Jody-Ann Jones, and I'm assured that we are also joined by Ms. Rosalind Vassell, who is the Student Financial Services Supervisor, to give you insight into your financial questions. A number of questions in the chat, but like the good father, I'm going to start with Adam. Adam Anderson has a question. He says, good day all. My question is, what advice would you give to someone who has a certification in the IT field from HEART, IV number 2, but has not practiced since graduating over 10 years now? What advice would you give to such a person who is now seeking employment in the field? I think I'm going to ask Ms. Rose to address this one.
Right. So the question I want to ask is, are those certifications expired? If not, then that is fine. Do you have a degree in IT? That's the second question. If your certifications are not expired and they're up to date, that is a good thing. But if they're not up to date, you need to retake those certifications. Make sure you're up to par with what is going on today. The devices would have changed, the way on which you used to secure certain devices, the configuration would have done differently. You would have known that there are new devices that are introduced. If you have the IT degree, move on to the master's, move on to the next level, which is the master's degree. If you do have a master's degree, move on to your PhD. Because a bachelor's degree seemed to be an entry-level degree. No, a bachelor's degree 10 years ago was the major thing. If you didn't have a bachelor's degree, then you wouldn't get a good job. Notice that 10 years ago, diploma and associate degree were more entry-level. Those have faded out, especially diplomas. You don't hear people talking about diplomas anymore. Associate degree, they're taking its time to fade out. Bachelor's degree, no. If you look in the newspaper, you'll see if you want any job in IT, the minimum requirement is to have a bachelor's degree. A lot of employers now are enforcing that you do have a master's degree. So don't just stay with a bachelor's. I think that sums up what Adams is asking.
Thank you very much, Ms. Natalie Rose, for that response. So I think the short is we just need to stay current, whatever certifications we already have. The next question or questions I'm going to ask to Mrs. Ray. I'm actually going to marry two questions. There's a question from Tajay Russell, and there is also one from Shanika Sedal. Tajay wants to know if there are any short courses that he can do at UCC to kickstart or to prepare him for the IT degree. And Anika wants to know if there are any master's course in tech and what is the accreditation status of those courses. So I'm just marrying the two of them and showing them to Mrs. Ray.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thanks. All right, so I'll start with Tajay first. Great question is that. So Tajay, if you're looking to actually get yourself and position yourself in the IT field, there are absolutely short courses that you can pursue through our corporate education department. And that is something that I would encourage you to do as well, because that would get your foot in the door, as we would say, and get you on the path to getting an insight and a feel of the IT field. And no better place to start than, doing a short course and take it from there. So the short answer is yes, that is absolutely possible for you to do. Start with a short course here at UCC. And I believe the next question, though, was asking at the other end of the spectrum about a master's degree. And absolutely, we do have a master's degree here as well. We have a master's in data privacy and protection. And yes, that program would be accredited because UCC is institutionally accredited. So absolutely, yes. And so as you can tell from my response, we have programs in IT spanning from the short courses all the way up to the master's level. So yes, we have a degree for everyone. All right, thanks. Over back to you now, Gary. Over to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ray. I think Miss Rose wanted to chime in on that question about the master's degree.
Right, so the master's degree is MSc Data Privacy Protection and Cybersecurity. So if you want to go into cybersecurity and have that certification or the degree itself, then that's something that you may want to do. Anything about security.
Thank you, Mrs. Ray. Thank you, Miss Rose. I'm going to ask this next question that comes from Kimberly Lynn. I'm going to ask this question to Dr. Jones because it's in line with the presentation that she did. Kimberly says, how does someone with a business administration degree make the connection to IT, to the IT field? Where do you start? Dr. Jones?
All right, thank you. Excellent question. I'd say start with what projects you want to build. That I know this is kind of reinforcing my presentation. So I'd say think about what is it you want to build first, and then from there look at what you need to learn in order to get there. So for example, if you're interested in data science, you're not going to you'd be remiss if you don't learn Python and SQL. I think I dare to say almost every data science course has those two frameworks to some degree. So the very first thing I say, think about what you want to build, and then think of what you need to learn in order to build that. And then from there, look at your institutions that are offering these things or these tracks or these courses. So as Ms. Rose just mentioned, UCC has a number of courses on data privacy, data analytics. There's a lot of courses in tech in general. So I say first start with what projects you want to build, reverse engineer what you need to learn in order to build those projects. And then the third thing is to check out accredited institutions that offer these courses.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jones. I know you had said in your presentation that, and I'm putting you on the spot, you had said in the presentation, you had shared some of your information, your contact details, in case persons want to reach out to you as a mentor or just to use you as a sounding board. So you can just share that contact detail again.
Definitely. Yeah, I will. I'll drop it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jones. There's a quick follow-up question. Boy, our prospective students are already so very ambitious. There's a quick follow-up question, Mrs. Ray and Miss Rose from TJ. Is there a PhD in IT, or we're stopping at the master's?
Great question again from Tajay. No, you, as Ms. was mentioned, alluded to before, the sky's the limit. absolutely you can go for your PhD. However, currently UCC does not offer PhD in IT categorically. However, don't get me started, because we do have what we call a professional doctorate that you can absolutely consider doing your research in IT. So yes, that is something that's possible. But the sky doesn't stop at the masters. You can absolutely go on to your masters. Miss Rose, over to you. I believe you wanted to add something, correct?
Yes, thanks, Mrs. Ray. Well, yes, we are actually in the making of doing a doctoral program in IT. I think we're going to do it in actually data science. So that is something that we and the professors are working on. As soon as we are running two programs, two new programs are coming this year. A bachelor's degree in artificial intelligence, and also a bachelor's degree in geographical information system. Once those two programs are out, then we're starting to work on the doctoral program next year in cybersecurity or data science. So we are still working on those with the other professors that are in the department. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Natalie Rose, head of department of the IT department here at UCC. Listen, there are a number of new developments on hand. We're having an inauguration ceremony for our newly minted president that will happen on the 27th of March. Stay tuned to UCC's website. So on the 23rd, we will be having a career fair where you will hear more about the upcoming degrees as we lead up to the actual inauguration ceremony. So a whole heap of things happening, TJ. You can start at the short courses, work your way through the degree, get your master's, and by the time you're done, we'll get you to a doctoral degree in IT. Amoria Campbell asks, when I choose to do an IT degree, is it best to do a major in a special area? Lady Rose.
It could be, that answer could go two ways. I would recommend that just do a major, just do the major, don't do a minor or anything. So if you have, meaning that if you have a PhD, a bachelor's degree in IT, just keep that major in IT. So you do a degree in IT, you can do a master's, an MBA, and then you do a PhD in IT. So you're not only having the technical skills, you also have the managerial skills. And when you're doing the PhD now, you're so all-rounded, and you put all of that. Employers are looking for persons who not only have the technical or the practical skills or the technological skills, they want to know that you can become a leader. You have that managerial skills also in the working world. So you can move from supervisors, manager, to CIO, Chief Information Officer, or director, okay? But if you do not have that managerial skill, sometimes you can learn on the job, but it puts you into a better position.
Thank you very much, Lady Rose. And talking about transferable skills, that really leads into the question that Ricardo Thompson is asking. What if I already have a 4-year degree? What if I already have a degree and don't want to spend 4 years and do another 4-year program? Is there a 1-year program available in IT?
You want?
Yes, you can take that, Ms. Rose.
All right. So if you already have a degree in IT and you want to go into a different area, the credits are transferable. So you're not going to start over to do an entire 4 years. It depends on what program you're trying to enroll in. So if you have already a degree, a 4-year degree in information technology, and then you want to do a second bachelor's degree in data science, there are a few courses that are overlapped in IT and data science. So whatever those courses are, you would do those, okay? Like the general ed courses, you wouldn't have to do those, but there are specialized courses in data science that you wouldn't have in information technology. So you're required to do that. So all in all, you would maybe spend about 1.5 to 2 years if you come in with your first degree and you're doing something else. And that depends. It depends on your program, and it depends on when you have graduated with that program.
Thank you very much. We have 2 questions from Britannia Henry. Britannia missed the part where we spoke about cost, and Britannia would also like to know if our program offers practical on-the-job training within the courses. Mrs. Ray?
Alrighty, sure. All right, so Britannia, I'll be happy to repeat the cost for you. So when I spoke earlier, we talked about you being able to pursue either 100% online, if that works better for you with regards to your work schedule or other life commitments. So if you decide that you want to pursue the program 100% online, the cost per module for you is going to be $42,900. But if you decide that, hey, you know what, I think I prefer a blend of both online and face-to-face, which we call here the hybrid or the blended, that is going to be $43,400 per module or per class. All right, so I hope that answers the question for you. I know you also had a question too about if we offer on-the-job training, correct? We do have internships as a part of many of the IT programs, but I'm just going to turn the floor over now to Miss Rose. She's the expert in that. She'll be happy to tell you more about what that entails and how you can benefit from that. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Ray. Well, that is true. We do have internship programs, but it's normally during the summer holiday. The program that we have, they are certifications. So what we have partnership with the certified associations, and what they normally do, once you have passed the certification, they actually talk to other companies like Digicel, the ministry, Flow, and there are other large companies in Jamaica and overseas that they speak with, and that give you an opportunity to get hands-on training within the industry, the area that you want to grow in. But this is based on the fact that you would have passed the certification courses. So the certified courses are done within the program. You're not only getting a degree itself, you're getting a degree plus the certification. And once you finish the degree and you pass those certifications, the partnership we have with these organizations, they actually help you to get into jobs.
All right, thanks, Miss Rose. So you're not just doing a degree in isolation. There are partnerships that we have that will facilitate hands-on training within the course, as well as the opportunities to get jobs when you are done. I see a follow-up question from Shanika, and I just had a little birdie whispering in our ear. The producer of this webinar from our marketing department, will we have access to the recording? You will not only have access to the recording of this session, but there will be resources from the presenters that you will get as well. You've already signed up for the webinar, so just check your email, follow through. We will share with you the recording. We will share with you resources from the IT department, from Ms. McPherson, Ms. Rose, from the recruitment department, from Dr. Jones. So just check out the email, check your email and look for that. All right, so we're coming down to the final couple of questions. If you have more questions, feel free to drop those in the chat, in the Q&A section, sorry, because we are almost to the end of this session. Nakita Esti is asking, Is the business administration with management and information system good to pursue? Nakita, I can tell you, it's our degree. Of course, it's good to pursue, but I'm going to finish the question and allow Ms. Rose to answer this and or Mrs. Ray. Is it a good degree to pursue, and does it link business information and technology together? I think Ms. Rose is itching to answer this one.
You know what, that's a very good question. I always tell my student, what kind of job do you want to get into? If you have a BSc in business administration with a major in information in management, a lot of employees are looking at the fact that you have a business degree. It's just that you have some IT skills with it. So you cannot use a business degree to get an IT job. They want some, if you're going to apply for an IT job, it has to be IT degree, because the businesses are kind of confused. Oh, does she really know much about IT, or she know about the business? So it's a half and half. So you have to be careful. If your job is more focused on the business side, but you're much topping the other persons who just have a straight business degree, because it means that you can manage the software, new software that are coming into the organization. You can do training, and you can be able to adapt, or you can help with the implementation of the software within an organization and other things. So, but you really have a business degree.
Thank you very much, Natalie Rose. Ricardo has a follow-up question. If the degree is unrelated to IT, would it be better to just do an IT program from start? Very good question. Lady Rose, what's a very good answer to that very good question?
Okay. Yes, it's if you do have a degree, that's what I was saying to you. If you say, for instance, you have a bachelor's in accounting, a BSc in accounting, it's best to do a master's. Don't do a second degree in IT. It's best to do a master's in something like information technology or information system management, something not too hard, because accounting and you're doing a master's in IT is going to get difficult. If you think that you want to more embrace the IT side, yes, do a first degree in IT. But you, as I said before, and I think Ms. Ray said it, you can do short courses from Corporate Ed, see how if you can manage these courses. This is something that you really want to get into. Try to get your feet wet by doing the short courses. If you think those are that's something that you want to do a second degree do another first degree in IT. If you can't wait to get your degree, do the master's in IT. But yeah, there's a lot of work that you have to put in, because remember, you have no IT background. Then you want to have a master's degree in, which is it's a big field, it's extensive. So you have to put in a lot of work if you're going to transit from non-IT to IT.
Thank you very much, Natalie Rose. We're coming down to the end, as I said before. Final question, another question from Tajay, and we know Tajay, Miss Rose, that Tajay is going to be one of your students from the line of question. For the bachelor's in network and cyber security, what would be our major or minor, and would be able to do any CompTIA courses at the end?
Well, in that course, the major is networking and the minor is cybersecurity. There are over 7 certified courses, certification in this course, including pen testing. So it's a very good course to have. You have to do cybersecurity analysis, you do computer security. These are professional certification. You do Fortinet, which is so good in security. You do Cisco, and you get the chance to sit those exams. So it has so much professional certification. Once you finish this program, and I appeal to students, once you finish a semester, don't hesitate to go and do the exam. And once you have the certification, you have it for 3 years. You can move up and get good jobs. Canada are asking for these certifications. America is asking for the certification. England is asking for the certification. Even if you go to Australia, they're asking for your certification. It's not only about just having the degree. If you have the degree, it puts you over the edge. If you have the certification, it puts you way over. So we want you to be industry ready for the working world, not only in just IT, but in security, data science, because there's certification in data science, certification in software development. They have all of that too. So there's an extensive amount of certification you can do while you're doing your degree. Over to you, Mr. Mackenzie.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rose. And as we pull to the end of the session here, I'm realizing that not all the panelists were field questions. So I'm just going to give 30 seconds to each of the panelists. Any final words, any burning thoughts that you'd like to share with persons? And I'm going to start with Shanelle McPherson, our star student in IT. Shanelle, any final words in 30 seconds?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mackenzie. Well, my final words to anybody that's pursuing a career in IT, I'd implore you guys to look at the career path that you're interested in. There's so many, as Ms. Rose mentioned earlier in her presentation. So seek a career path and ask questions, reach out to our students, affairs, and Ms. Rose, which is a very good lecturer as well. Reach out to anybody and ask them what it is that you need in order to get your career kick-started in IT. So that's one of the things that I recommend. Find your career path, find what you love, and do it with a passion, execute as well.
Thank you very much, Ms. McPherson. And ladies and gentlemen, take note of that name. Big things happening. Dr. Jones, final words in 30 seconds.
All right, thank you, Gary. I'd say start today if you're thinking about it. There are so many open source libraries you can download and play around with. I use Python as an example. You can go to python.org, download it, and just start playing around, read through the documentation, start messing around, start building stuff. And don't be afraid to break stuff. Don't break your computer, but don't be afraid to break the code. Thank you.
I absolutely love it. Start now, don't be afraid to break the code. Mrs. Andrea Ray, Director of Recruitment and Enrollment. Final words in 30 seconds.
Sure, thanks so much, Gary. All right, so from my end, I would implore our students, we have heard enough information today, starting with how you can really build that career. And if you are not in the field of tech, you still do have a stellar opportunity to transition if you find that you do have a passion for tech. So not because you may not have started there, you can still transition. So take advantage of this opportunity. Now is the time to really step up and make that change where you can now move over, make a difference in your life. But definitely, as you look around, you see that tech could be the way to go if you find that you have a passion for that field. So don't delay, start that process, go ahead and apply, complete your application for the next intake here at UCC, and we look forward to you joining our community.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ray. And I leave the final word to the head of the IT department, Natalie Rose. 30 seconds.
Okay, so choose what works for you. Don't be left behind because you are not technically inclined. With this world that is going IT, AI, you have to choose carefully. Don't be the one that can't use the gadget. Don't be the one that your job is at stake. Grab onto technology.
Thank you. Thank you, Natalie Rose. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. You know, there is so much that is shared with us today. And there's a quote I came across that says, the only thing constant in the technology industry is change. And what we've uncovered here is that whether you're at the starting line or you're somewhere in the middle trying to transition, or you're looking for a doctoral degree, UCC is definitely the place for you to make that change and stay on the cutting edge of technology. Just a quick reminder that resources from this session will be shared with you. If you have additional questions, and I see some last minute questions coming in, but if you have additional questions, feel free to check out our website, ucc.edu.jm, and you can do the live chat there. If you want, you can give us a call at 876-906-3000. And remember, as Dr. Jones says, you customize your own roadmap. Find what excites you, customize your own roadmap, and do not be afraid to start now. Start where you are. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you guys in our classes, in our sessions, and just to be stellar IT students going forward. Look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye for now.